Now, a good example of a physics prop in the movie are those bags of chips you see flying around everywhere when the dwarf crashes into them. Now, physics props are props that behave like real-life objects. They can get tossed around or bumped into, and the game engine will do all the math and figure out how they should move. It can lead to some very believable physics interactions, which are handy for a lot of things. It's great. So let's create one of those. Click on this again, then prop physics. I'm being fancy and typing it out. Then we'll create one over here. Then select, double-click, World Model, Browse. This time I want chips, and we'll have to wait for it since it's loading so many models. Now if this doesn't come up for you at all, it means you didn't copy the model files to the right place, and you'll have to go back to that step. Now one neat thing about this model is that you can actually pick a skin for it. So you can have different textures for the same thing to spicing things up a little. Now let's check our info and it's saying that this model will only work as a dynamic or a static prop, but not a physics one. Denied. Well, fear not, Mouseketeers, there is a way. Go ahead and click on cancel, then cancel again, then select this prop and delete it. Now go back to entities and select prop physics override. We're saying no way, man, we want a physics prop. We're putting our foot down. So double click on that, browse again, we're still in the hunt for chips, and still waiting for it. Yep, just waiting for it. There it is. Now it still says it's incompatible, but that's alright because we're overriding that. Making the rules and breaking them. Now this override function will also work on dynamic props, but not static ones. Another thing to keep in mind. Close that window, and now we have our bag of chips. Now since this bag can get knocked around, why don't we go ahead and show it in action? I'm going to move it so that when the map spawns, it'll fall down right in front of us. So let's go ahead and move this over. And move it up a little bit so it's floating in the air like it's possessed. And when the map spawns, this bag of chips is going to fall down right in front of us. And while I'm on the topic, say you didn't want it to fall or wanted to wait for it. You can do this by opening the property window again, and click on flags, then check starts asleep. Then it won't move until something bumps into it. But I want it to move as soon as it starts, so I'm not going to do that right now. Now we have some props, let's start adding some characters.